Welcome back to Showing Up. I haven't been around for a while, but I wanted to pop in and make another episode. What I want to talk about is something that came up for me recently when I was doing like a mid-year reset for myself. So by the end of June, I wanted to reflect a little bit on my business so far this year and also where I was heading. And I made a video about this on YouTube, which I can link down here. And while I was doing this reflection, I was thinking, I came to this question of why am I actually doing this? So what is the real reason? Because sometimes when you keep creating things and you keep going, you might lose track of why you started in the first place. And you might have like a vague feeling of, oh yeah, but I want to grow a business. I want to earn money with this. And this is the reason why I'm doing this. But when I really started thinking about my why and why I'm doing this, it wasn't really the money, because if I just wanted to earn money, I could just get a job and earn money much quicker and more reliably than doing this online thing. So that's not really the first reason. And then I figured out 4 reasons why I have this podcast, for example, and my new YouTube channel, which is more about building a creative life and business. And I just wanted to share those 4 reasons with you today, and maybe encourage you as well to think about your own reasons for creating what you're creating. Or if you haven't started yet, to think about it from the beginning. Why do you even want to create something? What's your reason? So my 4 reasons are the following. So the first one I figured out is I want to just have permission, give myself permission to use my voice online and to heal while doing this. So I want to be able to share ideas instead of keeping them inside me, and stop censoring myself and trying to be someone else. And I could say much more about this topic. Like, for example, I think speaking publicly is an act of vulnerability, because for thousands of years, being accepted by the group mattered for our survival. And our brains are still wired to care deeply about rejection. So when you publish a video or write a blog post or record a podcast, your nervous system doesn't necessarily think, I'm sharing an idea. It sometimes thinks, I'm stepping outside the group. What if I'm rejected? And that makes the fear feel much bigger than it objectively is. And then over the years, growing up, many of us learn to stay quiet. So usually children learn messages like, don't interrupt and don't show off, don't be too loud, don't be difficult, don't make people uncomfortable, and also don't think you know everything. So all of this together can like give us the message that maybe we shouldn't take up too much space. And if we're creating online, that's quite the opposite. We are taking up space. We're actually letting our voice be heard. So speaking publicly can feel like breaking an unwritten rule. So I really love this idea as well, because every time you speak, you're becoming someone new. So the goal might not be just to publish something, but to become the kind of person who can publish. So every podcast episode is practice, and every video tells your brain, see, we survived. So confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something your nervous system slowly learns through repetition. So you could ask yourself, what part of yourself are you still waiting to give permission to speak? Or if you knew you wouldn't be judged, what would you say? Or whose permission are you still waiting for? And then you can give yourself permission to do this in very small, gentle steps. So maybe it's not really about finding your voice, but more like, I think your voice is probably already there. And the challenge is more to trust it enough to let other people hear it. So it's about removing the layers of self-censorship that have built up over the years until your own voice can finally come true again. Okay, but I want to get back to my 4 reasons why I'm doing this podcast. And so this was just the first one, to let my voice be heard and to allow myself to do this and just get over the fear of doing it. And then the second one is to remember and talk about everything I learn and figure out about life and business, and just document it. So this podcast can become my notebook, the same way as my blog is my notebook for different crafts and some recipes and different things like this. I just document and keep all the things I want to keep, the more practical things. And my podcast is more about thoughts and ideas, so that I don't want to forget, that I figured out. So it's my way of collecting wisdom, really. And you can ask yourself as well, what if your creative work became a record of who you are becoming? And then the third one is to connect. Because I don't just want to talk to myself and into the void, I actually want to start a conversation. I want to find people asking similar questions. And I want to contribute something useful. So again, you can ask yourself, who are you hoping to find through your work? And which conversations do you want to start? You don't need to be an expert and talking down to people and telling them what to do. You can just talk with them about a certain topic and share your ideas and just really develop ideas together. And then the fourth and final one is money, because money matters as well. And you probably want your work to support your life, but that's not the foundation of everything. It's the result and the byproduct. So it's not the main reason maybe why you're creating or why I'm creating, because I'm only sharing why I'm doing this now, and it might not be the same for you. Like, I don't think that money doesn't matter. I think money is quite important in our world, society today. But I find for myself that purpose comes first, and it's really the most important thing. I need to feel good about my creations and enjoy doing it. And I think I want to be at a place where I'm doing this anyway, no matter if I earn money with it or not, just because I want to create and just because I want to do it for myself. Yeah, so I would love to hear your thoughts about this. If you want to tell me what you think. Is this the same for you, or is it different? Do you have other priorities? I would really like to hear your take on this. And then if you want to ask yourself a few questions, you could ask, why am I really doing this? And if money disappeared for a year, would you still want to make this? And are you hoping that it changes anything inside you or in someone else? And what kind of life are you trying to build? And another important thing, I think, just to close this, is that you don't have to find one perfect purpose. I think your reasons will probably change over time. But if you know today's reasons, it makes it much easier to keep showing up tomorrow. And maybe that's all you need right now. So I think for a long time, I actually thought that I needed to find one big purpose before I could begin. But maybe your purpose isn't something you discover only once. Maybe it's something you uncover by paying attention while you're creating. Every project teaches you a little more about why you're here and what you want to contribute. And then you can move on from that. So you create something, you find something out, you feel if it's more warm or cold, or yes, this is right for me, or no, this isn't. And you kind of adjust your path. and you create the next thing and the next thing. And that's definitely what it felt like for me over the last few years. I feel like I've been just like throwing stuff out there, creating things into all directions and just whatever wanted to come up and trying different things and then finding out what actually felt good and what didn't. And over time, I feel like it becomes clearer and clearer to me what I actually want to do and how I want to create and why I want to create, which is so important. So yeah, I would really love to hear your opinions as well if you want to share them. So thanks very much for listening, and I talk to you soon again.